Hey, it's Mr. D, the band teacher, and today's mini lesson is on the saxophone solo, Fanflairs, by the famous composer Lennie Neihaus. This is a level 1 sax solo, perfect for an advanced beginner or beginner player. It's got a lot of great things, a lot of interesting techniques that beginners need to know. So in this mini lesson, you're going to need your saxophone handy and your original music and a music stand. And be sure you know how to stop and start your computer media player. So if there's a section that you need to work on, you can stop it, work it out, and then continue with the mini lesson. In the beginning of this video right now, I'm going to show you what the song looks like. I'm going to point out some pieces that I think you need to work on, pieces or parts of the solo that you need to work on. And then I'm going to play them, and you're going to play along with me. So you will be stopping or pressing the pause button and kind of working it out with me. In a separate video, there will be a performance of this solo, so you can hear what the whole song sounds like in its entirety. Okay, so get your saxophone ready, and here we go. I'm going to move the camera over to show you some highlights in the song, and then we'll play. Okay, so here's Fanflairs. It's by the famous composer Lennie Neihaus. And a couple of things to remember. All the Fs that you play in this song are going to be what we call first finger F, or F natural. It's the F using your pointer of your right hand. Another thing to note is the repeat sign. We have a first and second ending. So remember, you're going to play from measure 5, go to the repeat sign, and then go back to measure 5 and continue to the second ending. Okay? We have a contrasting section here called legato. You're going to play that smoothly and connected and lyrical. Up here, you'd play the notes short and detached, crisp and short. Down here, you'd play the notes a little bit longer and more smoother or connected. Here, we also have accents, and we do have the crescendo to the forte. Check out my dynamic video and my articulation video if you have any questions on how to play those dynamics or the articulations. 32 is another expressive part. It's similar to 14 as we work our way down. And then you'll notice 43 to the end, if you glance at your song, is similar to the beginning, similar to up top here. Okay. We also have a fermata at the end of the song. And that's important to remember that you're going to hold that longer than its usual value. Okay. We have a mezzo piano right here. You might want to circle those marks that I'm telling you right now. A mezzo forte, medium loud, and mezzo piano again, medium soft. Okay, so let's get your saxophone out and let's work this song out. You should have your music on a music stand so we can work together here. The first thing I'm going to do is play a little bit of measure 1 and 2 to show you what the melody sounds like. So notice on those notes, I'm playing them really short and crisp. I'm using my tongue to make the notes staccato or short. This is measure 2. I am playing it a little bit slower than its original tempo. Okay, so I'm going to start at measure 3 and 4. This is one of the measures that you might need to work out slowly first by stopping my mini lesson, working it out, and then continuing. Notice there's a slur there, so it's going to be... I'll do it again slowly. And then the next 4 measures are very similar to the beginning. I'll continue. Okay, so that's the first several measures of the song. Notice there was a tonguing and slurring part there. It's at the end of the first and second line. Okay, now measure 14. Look at your music, measure 14. It says legato. You're going to play this at a totally different style of playing. The notes won't be short. They're going to be longer and smoother. So I'll start that. And that legato marking is the line that's above the C that you see there. I'll do that again. phrase. On that, notice I'm going slur and then slur. So tongue, slur, tongue, slur. So remember the slur, we're connecting the notes together by playing the note and then moving our finger in rhythm to the next note without tonguing. So I'm going to accent the note, play the note stronger right there, and I'm going to get louder. So you're coming a little bit softer. And then 24 is a similar repeat of the beginning where we go back to the staccato playing. Okay, so continue at 24. Okay, so again, it's very similar to the beginning, so work the beginning out and you'll definitely get that section there. Again, it's the tonguing with the dot above it, making those notes short and detached. And the slur, remember, you're connecting two different notes together without tonguing. All right, an example of a slur would be if I'm going G-A-B. I'm not going. Okay, so make sure you know the difference between the slurring and the tonguing. All right, 32 again is very similar to section 14, but we'll start right there. One measure after 32, playing at a soft volume. Remember the whole note tied to the quarter note. That's 5 full beats. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, then off. Okay, since we're playing this solo with a piano player, during the long rests in the beginning in the section that I just stopped at, those would be what we call a piano break. If you're not playing this with a piano player, you're just going to simply move on to the next section. I like to tell my students to treat the long rests as one beat, as one measure of music. So now we're going to pick up at forte or loud volume at measure 43. Okay, we're a little bit after 49. We're on the bottom line of the solo. Yeah. I could have probably accented that last note a little bit more. Okay, so as you prepare this song, you might want to stop and start this video just to make sure that you're working on the sections. The main thing when we first start working on this video is making sure that you're playing the right notes and the right rhythms. If you focus your efforts on measure 5 to the first ending, you're going to probably have a big chunk of the song already learned. Make sure you're doing the tonguing and the slurring correctly. I'll demonstrate one more time before we have to go. I'm using my tip of my tongue to articulate or play to start the note out. So it's a crisp, short tongue. Okay, and the slurs, we're tonguing the first note and then moving our fingers. So that's coming up here. That would be like the 4/8 notes at the end of the first line. Slur, tongue, tongue. Okay? All right, so that's some of the highlights of the song Fanflairs by the composer Lennie Neihaus. Definitely keep practicing it. Work it section by section. If you have to, measure by measure until you're successful. If you have any questions, you can go to the contact link at the top of our website, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. And if you're one of my students, just see me during school, and I'll be more than happy to ask or to answer any questions that you have. All right, in the meantime, keep practicing, rock on, and I'll talk to you soon.